How's it going?
What's going on, sister? I'm sitting there looking
This
at
is
my son
gonna.
like, where's Lee?
Here I am.
There he
Okay, so
is.
we've got a special guest tonight. I'm gonna play the little trailer. I hope it's okay because Gwen usually does this. But here we go.
Don't worry, it's coming. It wants to be difficult. There we go. But sorry.
Here we go. We're back. All right. So Shaman Willie Gibson. Hey, Gwen.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say, hey, I'm a little worn out tonight. I'm gonna be watching the show. I love you guys, Mister. I
Love you
always don't know what
too.
to call it, Mister Willie. If that's okay, I'll be glad to
Yes.
watch you. And I know he's coming on the show soon on Miss Robin's show also. That's gonna be wonderful. So you
Yeah.
guys have a good night, and I will be in the background listening. And I love you guys.
You're
You
the best.
said, sister, get your butt better.
Yes. Get some rest.
Love you,
I am.
sister.
I'm getting there, honey. I'm getting it. But I'm supporting. I'm in the back and watching Mr. Willie and you guys. And I love you guys. I'll be back here if you need me. Okay.
All
You're
righty.
my
All
love.
right.
Thank
Bye, honey.
you. And that's why we've got such a close-knit team.
Yep.
We care about each other, and even on her day off, she's trying to make sure everybody's good. That's you don't get better than that. I feel like the difference between us and other stations is because we take our tagline serious. Every story, every voice, all access network television.
Yep.
We're trying to give voices to people that, have a different type of life skill, different voice than most others. We're not meat and taters here. We're going to be doing all kind of stuff. And
We get
speaking of
smorgasbord.
some mortgage, just give it to me. I'll eat it.
That's it.
That's
We the
it.
buffet. We the buffet of podcasts. We get a
Yes,
little
we
bit of
are.
everything.
Get a little bit of everything. So I'm going to throw this out real quick because I want to make sure everybody knows that viewer um, and listener discretion is advised. I suddenly forgot how to spell discretion. I hope I got it right. So viewer and listener discretion is advised because this will be somewhat graphic. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to bring on Shaman Willie Gibson, Willie Windtalker Gibson.
Hey, how are you?
Willie, what's up, brother?
We
How
love
is
you.
everybody out there?
Good. Hey, Willie, do me a favor. Are you on a laptop?
Yeah.
Tilt it a little bit towards you. There you go. Now you're center
Okay.
screen.
Yeah, you were
You ever
looking
Okay.
see
like Kilroy.
it was like all we saw was this.
Yeah.
Uncle Fester.
Yeah.
So tonight we can talk about many things. Let me pull this off of here now. It's gone around a couple times. There. We can talk about Native American culture and spirituality. We can talk about ghosts and cryptids. But tonight we're going to talk about something a little different. Let's see. That's right, aliens. And
Aliens.
we've got some footage that's declassified from NASA, from CIA, and from the government, Department of War. I have more than this. This is just not even a tip of the iceberg. It's just a scratch. So, but you've got a story to tell, Willie. And now that all this has come out and all, can you tell us your story, please?
Well, since the disclosure is came out, before then I was told to keep my mouth shut by the powers that be. So since they made the first move, I'm going to finish it. Okay.
That's it.
So uh, it happened. It started happening when I was 10 years old, and in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. And I was the kind of kid, Lee. I told you before that I wasn't like other kids. I mean, I could see and hear spirits and all this kind of stuff, and even my own brothers and sisters kept away from me, which they had it too, but they didn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, somehow, even with Native Americans, you know that aliens are attracted to Native Americans.
Yes, they are.
You know why? Because we have their DNA.
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
So, well, if this was in 1965, I was playing by myself like I always did and talking to myself. And well, I always said I was talking to myself, but I was actually talking to other things around me.
Exactly.
yeah.
And then, well, I was looking at this is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I look up, there's a star in the sky. I felt that's kind of strange. I can see a star. And I watched it, guys, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger until this thing turned into a round silver object, and it had all kinds of pretty lights under it. And I'm watching it, and all of a sudden, there was a flash of light, like back then. You know, they would take your picture, and you had a light bulb go off.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
Right.
it
I
just
hate
like
that.
it was like that, and all of a sudden, guys, I was standing in my backyard, and it was dark. You know, it wasn't 4 o'clock anymore. It was like 8 o'clock,
Oh
and
my God.
I'm standing there looking around, and I didn't know what happened. So I go in the house, and my dad was hot. He said, "Where have you been?" And I I didn't know what to tell him. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know where I'd been. So
No.
I just said, I've been out. I was been out playing in the neighborhood. He said, "Go to your room." Well, I went to my room, and I'm sitting there, and I thought I was going to get a whooping, but I didn't do it. Instead, there was this voice in my head said, "It's okay. It's okay. Just you're fine. Just go to sleep." Well, I went to bed, went on to sleep. Next morning when I got up, guys, I said, "Well, I'm going to get it today." I went
Yep.
down. Dad was reading the paper, drinking his coffee, and he says, "Well, time for me to go to work." Gets up and leaves, and he acted like nothing happened,
That's cool.
that I wasn't missing. And so
Good.
I
What?
st- I still didn't understand what was going on, so I just dropped it. And that
Yeah.
was my first encounter, which I did not know I was abducted then.
Damn.
I didn't know.
They're trying to take care of
I
you,
had
I guess, huh?
I had no memory about it. I
Wow.
knew I looked up and there was a flash of light, and I don't remember anything after that but standing in my backyard. That was the very first time that happened to me. But, over into my adolescence, as I grew older, I had other experiences and ships would show up. And I was out at my aunt's farm one time, and I said, "My aunt, I'm going to go for a walk." Well, I went for a walk in the forest, and I came out in this clearing, and there sat a ship, the
Oh,
same silver disc, and I wasn't scared. I don't know why. I walked up to it. I stood there. The side opened up, came down. Have you ever seen the day the earth stood still?
Yes.
It was kind
yes.
of like a moment like that. The thing opened up and a person came out. Well, it was a person. It was a tall being and kind of like in a silver blue suit, long white hair, kind of pale skin.
Nordic.
It
The
was
Nordic.
Nordic. He was
Yep.
Nordic.
Well, it's either Nordic or Palladium, one of the two, because they have
Oh,
similar
Oh,
features.
yeah,
well,
that's true.
he introduced himself as Adam to me that time.
Okay.
I knew it.
Oh,
All of a sudden, I knew who Adam was. And it was like he was an old friend or something. Now I'm 11 years old at this time, and he motioned to me to come to him. We walked into the ship, and this time I remembered. Walked into the ship, and it was real pretty. It was real a, a lot of white. And things that on the wall that kind of favored like a fishbowl. It kind of like those kind of lights. So he took me into this room, and you thought from old people telling their tales, like putting you on a table and stuff like that. He didn't do it. He set me down on a bench, and he started showing me movies of things, and I didn't know these movies were things that were going to happen in the future.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, I'm 11 years old, and
ooh.
I'm seeing these things going on and stuff, and he was telling me, this is what he told me. He wasn't talking to me. He was talking to me through his mind. He
Hmm.
said, he says, watch and learn. Watch and learn. You'll know
Oh my God.
later. So I watched the movie, and when it was done, he takes me up, takes me back outside, and I start walking, and I turn around. The door had shut, and this disc raised up, didn't make a noise. It's like a balloon. If you let a balloon go, it just raised up like that, and it was gone.
Oh my
That-
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, but at the time, guys, I did not know they were showing me. They were showing me what was thing going on in the future. Now, as time goes on, I'm remembering the cloaked memories are coming to pass. Now I'm remembering going into laboratories and seeing things in tubes, like in liquid, like humanoid type of
Oh,
things.
Yeah.
I remember going underground and I'm seeing trains running underground, like bullet trains underneath the earth. And
oh my
like
God.
I remember seeing scientists with lab coats on. And guys, I'm gonna tell you, and Lee and I was talking about it. There we have bases on the moon.
Oh
We
yeah.
have
I
bases
know.
on Mars. We have
Yeah.
base NASA. Yeah, they said we're going to the moon. We're going to take the lander and land. Well, we've been going to planets for years.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we're using alien craft to go to other planets now. We've got bases
Hey,
everywhere.
Travis,
So
you gotta go ghost hunting with me, Travis.
yep,
Me
yep. And
and
that's
Travis were in school together since we were itty bitty. I have to give him, yeah,
so.
gotta goose him a
uh,
little.
Guys,
Excuse me.
you can bring up any subject about aliens, and I got a story.
Right
You
on.
know,
I've got
yeah.
several myself, Willie. When I was active duty in the Air Force, we went to Area 51 Thanksgiving 1991, and they pulled our plane into a hangar. Well, the old hangars, dude, it took 20, 30 minutes for them things to close. Right across the other hangar from us was an alien craft. And I heard
Mm.
this voice in my head saying, "You're welcome here."
Yep,
Oh,
They
shoot.
got the door shut, and we had to sign an NDA and all that kind of stuff too. And I'm like,
yeah.
after I'm retired now, so and when they did the full disclosure, I can talk about stuff that I saw.
Well,
Yeah.
the reason I'm talking now is before, I was with MUFON too. I was a counselor with MUFON, and they would send me abductees and people flying saucer pictures and all that thing. And I had about 30 people that I met with every month, and they would tell me their story. Well, one time I had a, a, a gathering. This guy walks in, crew cut, regular clothes, but you can tell military when you see him. I don't care what they were.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
a military man. So he sits
Mhm.
down besides me and the shaman, and he's listening to what people say. And I said, I asked him what his name was and introduced himself, and I guess he gave me a cockamamie name that wasn't even his. And I said, you want to tell us anything? He said, yeah. He opens this briefcase up he brought. He takes this file out. It says top secret on it. He puts it in front of me. He said, look at this. I opened it up. There was pictures of different craft and different species, and then writing, like hieroglyphic writing. And I'm looking at it. He said, what do you think about this? And I looked at it and I showed it over to Shaman, my wife. And she said, what do you think, hon? I said, show him. She got in her purse. And this was so funny. She got in her purse, pulled out a piece of paper with writing on it, and she showed it to him, and it was the same writing.
Oh, that's
Okay.
badass.
He looked at her and he said, where did you get this? And she said, it just came to me. I was just doodling, and got these things on paper. And Willie said, it could be alien writing. His face got red, and you can tell red as a beet. He took that file back, threw it in his briefcase, and he walked out. Okay. Didn't say a word
He
to
thought
me.
he was gonna be the only one.
Well, I think he was testing everybody to see what we really knew. And when
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had my stuff that I was getting from people and we were getting, he he didn't know what to do. So after that, okay, I started getting phone calls, hang-ups. Okay, I go and I would see these black SUVs following me. I mean, where everywhere I went, they were there. I'd go to the mall, and they would already be there. Guys, black suits,
God.
the glasses, the black men in black. Okay, and they didn't say anything to me, just watched me like creepy. So I would get back. I would get back in my car, and I would, go home, and I tell Shaman about it. And I kept getting the phone calls and and the strange cars coming up and back and forth. And this was all going on when I had my encounter group. Then, as I would have my encounter group, I noticed people were missing, starting to be missing, not coming.
This
And
part right here scares the
and
out
I,
of
and
me.
you know, I went from 30 people down to 2 people. And I looked at Siobhan and said, I think we better disband this.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've disbanded it. And I had other people that I were talking to that were abductees. Well, I had one lady that had been abducted and she had 3 kids taken from her when she was pregnant.
Mm.
Okay. Well, she was going to go to Washington and testify before a committee. Okay. That's well and good. If that's what you want to do, Carol, go ahead and do it. Well, 2 days later, I get a phone call. He said, "Did you know what happened to Carol?" I said, "What?" He said, "She's dead."
Mm.
I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "She died in a fire a couple of days before she was supposed to go testify." And I looked at Sherman and said, "I think it's time we need to back off a little bit."
Yeah.
So I started backing off. So one Sunday we were going to church, and we were on a highway. We were by ourselves, and this black XUV comes up beside me, and forces me off the road. We almost flipped, and I jammed on the brakes and we stopped. And I said, Shaman,
Jeez.
from here on out, we're backing off. We're not saying anything. I would even say out loud, I said, look, we're not, I'm done. You don't have to worry about anything. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm not going to say anything else. And after I said that, I don't know how they heard me or whatever, if the car was bugged or they had a mic on me, a parabolic mic listening to me. They didn't bother me anymore as long as I kept my mouth shut. I was getting
Yeah.
dangerous. They knew I was an abductee. I was getting ready to talk, and they didn't bother me. However, the aliens had another idea about that. They just kept on. They would visit
Oh,
me and show me stuff, and they make me forget it. Now, as of late, over the last year or two, I've been getting these thoughts back, and I've been remembering like a dream what they showed me. And now that I looked at the pictures in the ship of the movies they show me, I'm seeing that what's going on now. I saw back then. Wars and stuff like that. And I even saw, no kidding, I even saw the towers come down back in 1965.
Oh, yeah.
well,
They knew it. They knew it. And I didn't say a word. When I seen that, it was almost like it's like I was watching a rerun of a movie.
Yeah.
jeez.
And stuff like that. I would, I'm remembering, and look, we were talking a while ago. We were talking about implants. Well, I, I would wake up sometime in the middle of the night, and I would see these creatures standing by my bed. One night, Shaman and me were laying in bed. This portal opens up in my bedroom. These 3 little things come out, the grays, looked at me, turned around, went back, is saying, "Hey, we're still watching," you know, and they went back into her portal. Well, Shaman, woke up one morning and she had her face was all swollen, like she had 2 black eyes. I said, "What the?" And this green stuff was coming out of her nose. I said, "What the heck, Shaman?" And and I looked at her. I said, "Honey, I can't take you out nowhere because they're gonna swear that I did this to you." She said,
Yeah.
she said, "I understand where we're staying," and I've woke up, guys, and I woke up one morning and I had this green fluid all over the bed, all over me. So I said, "I'm going to send a sample of this." So I took a sample of it, sent it off to a lab. Okay, lab lost it.
Of course they
Oh,
did.
They
Sure.
lost it, you know.
Yeah.
And I kept looking at her. And one night I woke up, and I don't know if I was getting used to the energy they would hit us with, but I saw three creatures putting her back to bed, laid her down,
Oh my God.
and then turn around and walk through the wall. And she was sound asleep. And I just, you know, and I, there's no doubt in my mind that that green stuff that was coming out of her nose was an implant put up in there. Well, I was talking to you guys earlier. I had one of those size things on the back of my neck when I was 10 years old, and about 2 years ago, it just grew and grew and grew to from a pea size to an egg size, and it started hurting real bad. So I went on into the hospital. They rushed me into the emergency room, and the doctor went on ahead and opened it up because he figured he was dealing with a boil. Okay,
Yeah.
this all this all this organic stuff just came out. It's just like it wasn't exactly wiring. It looked like wiring, but it wasn't. It looked more like uh, something you would see in a jungle or something. He said, "Mr. Gibson, I don't. I'm going to clean this out, but I, I'm I'm I don't know what it is." So they went on ahead and took a biopsy, sewed me up. He said, "No, in a few days, go to your regular doctor and get the stitches out." But do you know, I never got the results of that biopsy.
That doesn't
Never.
surprise me.
Oh,
I never got the results of it. I didn't know. So evidently, I figured it's okay. But that has happened to me all during through my life. I would send samples of stuff away, it would get lost. I would draw pictures, it would get lost. So I just told MUFON way back, 90. This was 99, and when this was going on, I said, "Look, I got to stop this." And I told them what was going on. They said, "Willie, that's a good idea. It sounds like they're getting a little tough with you. You need to back off before something happens because one of us has already been killed, and I couldn't take the chance on them hurting Shimon, so I just stopped it. But now, they fired the first shot, so here I am.
Good for you.
Yeah,
that's right.
just yeah,
Get your story out.
yeah. And I wrote about a little bit about it in my first book. I told them about seeing the star and everything, but I didn't go into great detail. I mean, I could have put out several books on it. What I've been through. But yeah, I've seen bases and things, and they got bases everywhere. And they're saying, well, we're going to fly to the moon here in 27. Okay, you know, uh, say hi to the people that are there.
No doubt.
Yeah. So,
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the stuff
Wow.
there's the stuff they're releasing now, that's all well and good, but they got better stuff they can release, but I doubt if we'll see that. I would love to
Probably
see
right.
I would love to see the film of the ship landing and Eisenhower meeting them.
Yes.
That's the one I'd like to
Me
see,
too.
and making the deal.
Yeah. Well, they
You
gave
know,
up so many people per year for them to do whatever they wanted to with them. They got technology in exchange.
yeah, yeah. And like I said, people are coming forward now. They're people that they had enlisted, taken when they were 17 years old, and put them in a military thing and sent them to other planets, for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they're coming out now and they're talking about like it was nothing, I guess. I mean, they don't care. They don't care. I think they think they're safe. What are they going to? I mean, the government's releasing this stuff. I didn't think. I don't know if they thought that we were going to keep our mouth shut after that came out.
No.
Just like Steven Spielberg. The disclosure thing. If I haven't seen it, but I've seen pictures of it. Clips of it. He was going to. That's where it all started. He was going to put that movie out. They said we might as well go ahead and put ours out too before his hits the theaters because he's got what we got. So I think over the years that these people are making like Close Encounters and Star Trek, and they've been getting messages from the aliens how to do this to
Oh
ease
yeah.
us into it. Yeah,
Well, you think about it, Willie. This is just a prime example of the Roswell crash in 47.
Yeah.
Look how much our technology advanced from 1947 and up.
Yep.
Things you wouldn't think about. Velcro came from that.
Yeah.
Microwave came from that.
Yep.
Um, Videotapes came from that. A whole bunch of other stuff that's probably still classified.
Yeah. Well, Blaine, I would do if I would get hurt, I would have one of them come check on me. I had a real bad surgery in '99, and I was in the hospital, and I wasn't doing good. I
Yeah,
mean, I was going down, and I was kind, I was looking around, and I could see my spirit guides, and I happened to look over to the window, and there was this thing floating in front of the window. A probe. They sent a probe down to see what was going on with me. So, after that, the next couple of days, I started getting better, but I was going downhill fast, and when I had that visitation from everything, from spiritual and the cosmic, I got well.
yeah. Well, it's funny, Willie. My grandmother's Cherokee too,
Yeah,
and she used to tell me, says we originated from the Star People.
yeah,
Told me that when I was a kid, and
yeah.
back in the '60s and early '70s, and I
Have you
believed her.
have
Now
you re-
I really believe her.
have you read the book Star Crash by Dolores Cannon, where
Yes, I
she
have.
and where the aliens mated with the Indians? There's where
Yes,
the DNA comes from,
yes, it does.
and
Oh,
that's why we're visited.
Yeah,
This happened 10,000 years ago, and we migrated everywhere.
that we have. And
that's crazy.
I don't know if I've ever been abducted, but I do know that I have seen UFOs and aliens my whole life. I thought everybody did.
Oh yeah, I thought everybody could see spirits too, but I
Me
got fooled.
too.
Instead, my dad, when I told my dad I was starting to see things, and he said, don't tell anybody, because he knew he had it too. He could see, he had second sight. Don't tell
Mhm.
anybody now. They're gonna make fun of you. You come to me if you see a spirit or they're trying to talk to you. You come to me and I'll tell you what's going on. He would take me to funeral homes, Blaine, to
What?
get used to. Yeah, he would take me to funeral homes, take me to a casket, and explain to me what was going on. That the person's not here, the spirit's gone, and he said, "Look over in the corner. Look over in the corner. The person will be standing there." He said, "You see that?" I said, "Uh huh." He said, "I see it too." He said, "But this is a container. Don't be scared of this." He would have me touch the body and all this kind of stuff, and feel how cold it is, and explain to me what was going on. And I'm looking at this person over there smiling at me in the corner.
Yeah,
Don't say nothing. And we would walk out, and I just look at the person as I walk past them, walk out and they would smile at me. They knew I was saw them, and
mhm.
that's how he trained me.
Oh,
Right on.
wow.
Oh yeah. I would wonder,
That's
why are we
creepy.
I'd look up and I said, "Why are we seeing the butcher, Dad? He's not family." But he said, "I have to be here." So
Yeah,
he did something, when he was there, like a little saying or something. He said, Just go with me." And he would, every time somebody would die in the family, he would take me, leave the other kids with my relatives. He would take me, you
me
know?
too. My
Wow.
grandmother would take me.
Yeah. And I went to see my uncle, my mother's uncle, that she hadn't seen in years, and he his arm had been blown off by a
Oh,
shotgun.
God.
Okay, well, I went to again. I walked up to the casket, looked at him, and this was like a country style thing where they laid people out in people's homes.
Mm-hmm.
So I
In the
walked.
parlor.
This was at a farm, and I walked outside and walked up to a tree. There stood the uncle, smiling at me with his arms. He let me know he had his arm. He says, "I want you to tell your mother something." Okay. He said, "Tell your mother that there's a package I left for her. Tell your Aunt Dina that get that package." Well, I went inside. I said, "Aunt Dina, did Uncle George leave Mom a package?" He said, "How do you know that?" I said, "I don't know, but I think he left her a package." Yeah, he left her a package. So she went and got that package, opened it up, and it was a picture of her mother, the only picture that was ever made of her mother.
Oh
Oh, my
wow.
God.
Yeah. And mom started crying. I said, "What's the matter?" She said, "This is your grandmother." How did you know? I didn't know what to tell her. Dad told me not to tell anybody that I could see things. He told me that,
Yeah.
and I went back outside and he was gone. He delivered his message and he was gone.
Yep.
Yep. He was
People
through.
that's happened to me lots of times.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I got a funny one for you, Willie. When my grandmother's sister's husband died, he
Yeah,
didn't like men. And you know, in the South, somebody from the church is going to come by the damn house and say something.
yeah,
He saw those two men at the door. My uncle did, and they were already laid him out in the living room too, in the parlor.
yeah,
I watched him pick up a vase off the mantle and just hurl it at the door like Nolan Ryan. And
yeah,
I couldn't say a word. All I could do was try not to laugh because it was funny to me.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's stuff. That was my beginnings of becoming a shaman. At the age
Mm-hmm.
of 10,
Yeah.
my dad was teaching me. Because by the time I'm at the age now, there's nothing I haven't done or seen.
Exactly, bro.
Cryptid, and people say, "Well, Willie, if you got this power, won't you go out in the woods and call call Bigfoot in?" I said, "I'm not going to do that." He said, "Why don't you do it? They'll be drawn to you." I said, "I know they'll be drawn to me. Why don't you leave them alone?
Thank you.
Leave them alone. They're minding their own business." I said, "What? Can you imagine what would happen if I brought one in and they got mad at you?" Hmm.
Oh, Lord.
And I said, "I'm not going to do that."
That would be my luck.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
So
if
Oh,
they could snap a tree out of the ground from the roots,
yeah, I'm not
no.
gonna I'm not gonna call a 9-foot creature in here. He's minding his own business, and they know, And I'm actually afraid sometimes to go into the woods because I don't want to draw stuff. I mean, I draw crypt, I draw fairies and gnomes and all kinds of portals opens up, and I said, I only go in the woods unless I'm called there, like to close a portal or something.
Yeah.
I've had to deal with. That before when I had to go on land and shut the energy down. When we had elementals coming out and messing with people that cleared the property and they get mad at them, and I had to go in there and deal with it.
Oh yeah.
So and it's the same thing with UFOs and aliens. They're drawn to our light. And if they want to see us talk to us, they're not going to waste no time doing it. They'll
No.
and people say, why don't how do you handle this stuff, all this stuff? I said, it's me. I've got to handle it as it comes.
Thank you.
Like Shaman just passed, and she was turning the lights on and off in the house and stuff, and she kept doing it, and she kept saying, "Go to the dress, go get that dress, go get my wedding dress," because she wanted to be buried in her wedding dress.
oh,
So, okay, I went and got the dress and opened it up. And guys, she had put a letter to all the kids and me in there and wrapped it up in the dress. And
oh,
she made sure that I did, I found those letters. That's how supernatural things are around here. Same thing with UFOs. People would come over to the house for a UFO meeting. I had an encounter group that come over to the house too, and we were kind of living outside the city limits a little bit. Well, and I had a big backyard, and you can look up in the sky and see the Big Dipper, and it was really clear. And he said, if you if you can talk to UFOs, why don't you bring them down so we can see them? I said, no, you don't want me to do that. You're a liar. You can't do it. I walked outside and I looked up. I said, if you can hear me, show them that you're here. Here they come. Zoom, 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 zoom. I mean, they come down zooming back and forth, and they looked at me, and I swear to God, they got in their cars and took off. I said, you wanted to see them? Where are you going? So you know, just like that.
you go, Willie. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wanted to see him. What?
Willie, I'd have been right next to you, just laughing my ass off, going,
Well, I had
"You
weirdos.
want it? You
I
got it.
had
Now what you gonna
guys.
do?"
I had weirdos show up that they
Oh,
actually went out and built a landing zone,
oh, good Lord.
and they come and wanted me to go with them to get in the middle of that landing zone and bring in a craft. I said I wouldn't do it. They
No.
got they got really mad. I thought they were going to get violent. I'm not going to do that. we built this land, and they actually went out and cleared property off, put an X on the property, and wanted me to bring a UFO down. I wouldn't do it. So I've had that kind of stuff. So yeah,
You really
yeah,
had a bunch of crap.
yeah,
It's
and I'll
crazy.
probably and I'll
Okay,
probably and I'll probably have more now. So
Yeah.
we found him, So
he's over here. Y'all come
yeah,
on.
yeah. So
Blaine,
that's
tell them
okay.
what happened to us with the, or I can't say it.
Aurora Borealis, dude.
Thank you.
A few times it came down to the south.
Yeah,
I'd seen it before up in other places in the world, but we're sitting out there, her, me, and Matt. We go out to the middle of nowhere, dude. It was like no lights out there. It was dark, dark, dark. And you see the Aurora Borealis, and then you'd start seeing these lights. And they would move left to right. And me and Lee would just think it and say, can you move left? And they would go left or move right or go up and down.
And we're punching each other. You see that? They moved. They moved.
You see that? And then when we got home after it was all over, me and Lee were sitting in their living room. Matt had went to bed because he was tired. We're sitting there and we watched these three beings holograph through her ceiling onto her living room floor, and they communicated us. And they were Nordic.
yeah,
And they communicated with us. They said we followed you because we liked your energies.
yeah. I've heard that with me.
It blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I
Well,
didn't know what to say. I was just dumbfounded.
what's really funny? They got these things called Sky Watch and all that kind of stuff, where a bunch of people meet out in a big field and they look up and they flash lights up in the air and stuff like that. They have come to me and said, "Come with us. We know you can bring a ship out." I'm not going. Why don't you? I don't want. I don't need to.
No.
I don't need to. Why do I? I want to watch.
Me too.
I want to stay home and watch. TV.
Thank
I
you.
mean, I don't need to do that. Well,
Yeah.
You want to work? You want to
you're
chill out?
yeah, you're special. You need to be with us, and we can make you really, really big in our community. I don't want to be big in your community. Why do I need to be big in your community? If I want it, I can go out my backyard and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I need to talk to you," and they'll be here. Well, let it take us out in your backyard, and we'll take pictures. I ain't gonna do it. Why don't you do it? Because I don't want to. They would get so mad at me, guys.
Oh, I can imagine, Billy.
Yeah, you know,
That's
So,
that's funny to me.
well, that's it. Okay, so I'm going to pop up 15. I know there's more like 50 known aliens. Okay, we've got the Greys, the Nordics, the Reptilians, the Insectoids, Archilians. What does that say? Palladians, Syrians, Andromedons,
Andromedas.
Pythians, Zeta, Reptilius, the tall whites, the Mandids, the Avanos, the Vanos, the aquatics, which I would die to. I would love to meet one. Anyway, and then energy beings. Now, how do we know when we're talking to spirits that we're not talking to that guy?
Yeah.
My own personal opinion, Lee, they're two different things.
Yeah. They're two different types of energies.
Well, what about orbs? Are orbs UFOs? I know that's a little stretching, but I'm just saying.
I've,
Because, we don't know how big they'll be.
I've never seen an orb turn into a UFO, but I've seen an orb turn into a spirit in
Yeah,
human
me too.
form. Yeah, but the pictures you put up, I've dealt with the first two.
The first two?
The gray and the
Nordic.
second one with the blonde hair. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's with the two I've mainly dealt with, and then, of course I've dealt with the doggone humans, the scientists, because now that I remember, and I've been in those laboratories and things and watched them walk around. They would walk around and like I was nothing, like I belonged there for some reason.
Mhm.
They didn't get pissed off that I was there or anything. I mean, it's like, oh hey,
Yeah.
Willie,
That's Ethel's grandson. It's okay.
yeah, and then time
You
to go
wouldn't
back.
know.
Time to go back to bed, and then the next thing I know, I'm in bed, But I'm watching these trains go up underneath, in and out, I've seen these creatures and these big, huge dome-looking things with, look like they've been cooked or being manufactured, and they just didn't care that I was there, like, oh, he came to visit now, and go back home and go to bed, and we'll see you again when you get ready for you. I don't know if they took anything from me. I can't remember that, but it's just like I walk around like I owned the place, And for a while there, I thought I was going out of body and doing this, but
Yeah.
they were actually coming and getting me,
Yeah.
So and then I forget it, and now and over the past 5 years, I've remembered everything that's coming to me, and I can tell people what I'm seeing now because I'm safe.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right?
mean, everybody else is talking. I might as well too.
For real?
Why not? Well, I've got some evidence, and I'm going to
You do?
show it.
No, you don't.
Yes,
No, you
I do.
really?
And I'm going to hit the button. Here we
Okay.
go. CIA, FBI, here we go. This is what you
MSNBC.
released to us. And all the alphabet soup. Here we go. Now, I'll probably have to play it twice, and you can really focus. I put out something just now saying, okay, we're getting ready to do evidence, pass the word, and let people know. You can go straight to the Department of War website, and you can see UFO at the top. Click that tab, and all of this declassified stuff is here. You can also go to CIA declassified documents and get so much. I mean, there's so many things about remote viewing and stuff out there. It's just unbelievable. Okay, so here's the first one. Look across the bottom of the screen. You'll see two boats, and they're running really fast. And then all of a sudden, you see this, whoo, like that. And that's what we were looking for. See it?
Yep.
That damn thing's scooting.
Yes, it was. Let's do it again. Thing is really going, and it's not in the water. It was on top of the water. You see that?
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
look, it didn't even disturb the water.
Now, let's do it one more time. It's got a shadow on the water, so you know.
Yeah.
Dang, that's intense.
That's
That's
crazy.
intense. Yeah. Nicole, just wait. We got some more.
Yeah. That was a mild one.
Yep. So that's that one. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to play audio. And it doesn't start right away sounding like it's fantastic, but wait till you get, it might even be a minute and a half into it, and you'll hear what he says. It's pretty intense. So here we go.
Listen, we read this paragraph in here about these quotes coronal discharges that you guys were seeing, and that completely stops us. Tell us how this came about and who talked to you about it and what you saw.
Somebody reported it on one of the earlier flights that some guy I got the letter, paperwork somewhere, they shipped it down to me at the Cape about two things where the VHF radio noises which could be discharges from someplace in space, and the other one were, I thought it was on Neil's flight, these guys reported seeing flashes in a spacecraft at night with their eyes closed. They noticed them when they were awake at night and the spacecraft was dark, and they thought they were in a spacecraft. But whoever this guy was to know, that's a perfectly known phenomenon. You can get discharge across your eye from gamma rays or something. So they had a bunch of things. Would we close our eyes and face the moon, when we were orbiting it, because it would be more, we'd get less discharges facing the moon than away from it. But you don't have to be anywhere near the moon or anywhere. The first night out, bing, bing. And if you keep your eyes closed and you're awake down there and it's dark and you think about it, when it happens, you can figure out, you can pin down that it's one eye. It's not a discharge that you see in both eyes. You really see it over one eye or the other eye, and you can see what kind it is. We had two kinds. I guess the particle either strikes the eyeball perpendicular or it discharges parallel. And we get either a flash like that or we get a streak. And I feel like I know that they either got a flash spacecraft. And that stuff got switched from across there, and I saw all the right ones in my eye.
Yeah.
I took her symmetrical. I split down and
Y'all, there's code embedded in that audio clip.
Yeah.
There's something you hear it, right?
I was hearing, I was trying to pick up on
Yeah.
the code on it. It wasn't Morse code, it was another code that I've seen in the military.
Yeah.
Johnny, what you can do to replay it is let me hold on just a second. I'll put it up here. Do me a favor and spread this around too. All you guys,
Please do.
while we're talking about this, go to my YouTube channel at All Access Network Television, or you can just go to Letriana Brown, or you can go to Blaine Rohan, because they broadcast on all of these. So you can go back and see it there. And it's also going to be on my Facebook wall. As soon as we close the live, it'll be back.
Yep.
Yep.
Then you can look at it that way. I hope you do. I hope you go back and watch it. And this
Please
is
do.
the real stuff. All right, I got another one. Let's go ahead and get it done because I don't want us to run out of time. Here we go. Let me delete that voice. But did you hear how they were casually laughing there towards the end?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they knew about this. This is what I saw, and this is what they look like, and they're laughing. Like they knew. It's just weird. See that little black dot? It's flying all the way across. It's about a little more to the left than center. I'll play this again too. It's a black dot. Well, it's gray. And then this happens and it's black now. And they just continue tracking it, and that's really moving.
Oh, yeah.
And remember that all of this has been sanitized. Now you can really see it. Now you can see that it is giving a reflection. It's completely circular because it almost looks transparent in the center.
It is transparent, the center. Must be
I'm
the
going to have
propulsion.
David Campione on. His father was a UFO psychic, and there's a book that he wrote. Look at that.
I think what we're seeing is their propulsion system, or anti-gravity or antimatter, whatever one they were using.
You know what it's like flying one of those. I mean, does it recognize your bio, like chemistry and stuff? I mean, surely it doesn't have a key, you know, a key to start it. But look now. It is circular, and you see that it's also spinning. I would hate to be in the thing if it spun while you're flying.
The middle's not spinning. It's outside the spinning.
Yeah.
It's probably for gravity, would be my guess.
And here's the more. You see that little dot? It's way into the cloud. It's coming. Just give them a second to lock on it because it's very there. Now you can see it. There you go. Overcast. It's flying out of a cloud. This one's white, or it's making it look white because of the clouds, you know, and the reflection. But we knew they were there, and we filmed it. If that's the case, what else are they hiding? Crazy. That kind of irks me to think about it. I mean, look what Willie went through. You know what I mean? Look how many people have had something happen and they couldn't get help. There's people that had radiation poisoning and, you know, all kinds of and no, there's nothing that happened. to you. Yeah, it did. I saw a documentary about this poor lady and her son, and they were just cooked,
You know,
and
Lee,
they couldn't even get treatment.
Shaman told me when we were going through this, he said, Willie, I got visited when I was younger too. I said, what do you mean? He said, I was out at a drive-in theater. I was 10 years old and I saw these three craft fly over. And she says, I know that I had been abducted. She said, I was afraid to tell you up until now when we're going through all this and we were experiencing it together. And in 99, I got to meet Stanton Friedman. And
Oh wow.
he sat down and talked to me. He said, Willie, he said, I want to tell you something. You and Shaman was brought together for a reason.
Yep.
He says, I don't know what it is, which I know now, but I don't know what it is, but you two were brought together for a reason. And he would tell me stuff that he wouldn't tell on film.
Yeah.
He told me what was going to happen. A nice man, nice, I mean, very, very intelligent, and he said, Willie, you just remember things are just now starting. And when I found out he died, man, that really hurt me bad. But he did. He sat down and talked to us like you and me are talking now, and this is what's going on with you. And he knew a lot more than he was telling people. So I think he was being visited too.
Oh yeah, I believe
Probably.
he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Well, Nicole just posted something about Skinwalker Ranch being active. I actually have CIA declassified documents about the Skinwalker Ranch, and yes, it does have UFOs and aliens. There's a lot of documents that have been released recently, and it is very clear. And this is looking up at the sky. That is correct. Lots of times they try to have another aircraft over the top of it, get footage of it like this, as opposed to looking up. So if you see that, it's because we've got fighter jets or whatever else looking at it from this point of view.
Filmed it from the
So,
belly
yeah,
cam.
I don't know why they
yep,
just, they have portals all over that place,
Yeah.
and creatures are coming in and out. That's where your skinwalkers are coming in and out, and different types of creatures. And that big thing in the mesa. I mean, I'm sitting there watching on TV, and I told them, I keep sitting there on the TV. That's a ship. That's a
Yep.
ship under there. I wonder what it is. We're gonna drill a hole and get a picture. It's a ship.
It
You
is a
know,
ship. Look how it's round.
yeah,
It goes as far underground as it does above ground.
yeah.
And they got the nice what do you call it, lidar of it,
Yeah.
of something that's over
Funded.
30 foot wide, and sections of it that it broke off when it crashed into that mesa.
Yeah, yeah. And the guy
I've
that
got,
owned the place beforehand, he knew he found out what it was, but he got the heck out of there. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I
he
guess
was
they had
great.
enough.
After they started getting those tumors and stuff, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's terrible. Okay, I've got enough time for two more. Wait a minute, let's see what comments we've got. Leave out some beer, just kidding. Yes, looking up. And where is that? I don't know. Please go to departmentofwar.gov. And at the very top, you'll see UFO on the more towards the right. UFO, click on it, and then they've released it one batch, the first batch. These things are from the second.
Yeah.
I downloaded them
Usually
all and
where it was filmed or where it was from. And sometimes they don't. But
right. This one that I'm about to play has been sanitized. They've got black boxes all over the place. And Google Maps has that too, trying to keep us from seeing certain things. But here it is.
no, Lee, actually what those black boxes are, they blocked out all the aircraft instrument gauges and stuff that the pilot sees up in his heads up display.
Yeah. This thing is obviously flying really fast, but it's a different shape. We've been seeing the ones that look circular. This one, I don't know what the shape is, but okay, what are we looking at? Oh, there it is again. It's moving around. Kind of looks like an airplane. Oh, sorry. Airplanes can't do that. Wow. Okay, it's replaying now. And here's this one. Y'all see it? Oh, it's itty bitty, and it's white. It flickers. Now it's almost on the ground. There we
There.
go. Now you can see it. Boy, that it's got an odd path. I mean, it'll just zip to the left or right, however it wants to. You know that's not a, only thing I know that can do that is a drone, but that's bigger than a drone. Wow. If you want to see these again, please go to All Access Network Television YouTube, or you can go to my name. That's a crazy one.
That is
Oh,
nuts. And you can definitely tell that one's filmed from a belly cam.
yeah, you can. You can tell that. You're right. Oh, we got a bunch of comments. Let's see. At UFOstalker.com would show the location. Thank you, Johnny. I will look there. I've been more trying to analyze the video footage itself instead of
Yeah.
seeing where it's from because I feel like they deliberately tried to keep it from us where it's located. But ooh, Luna, please be still. My dog is just, he hears Blaine and she hears Blaine. He's flipping out. Calm down, baby. Okay, and there's an app that tells you if it's a plane or UFO. I remember that. My husband has that on his
Mhm.
phone. And when we went and saw the beings that we did and the aircraft, he said Blaine was checking the flight records. Matt was checking also. You guys were on Google Maps. You had like 3 or 4 different things going.
Yeah.
And what we were seeing was not reported on any of that. That's right. It's very cool. It is very interesting stuff. She took a UFO course. I usually just do cryptids and I include UFO. I think you're right, Johnny, because it's flat. It should be out west. Thank you, Nicole. Yeah, you guys go out and subscribe. You'll be seeing more of Willie Windtalker Gibson
Yes, we
as
will.
we dig deeper into
I
this.
think I think Lee's going to give me my own square.
Yeah,
You have
I
your own
am. You're gonna
square.
have your own square.
And Lee, I
Really?
mean, Willie, you can have that square anytime you want to, man.
I, I,
Anytime
I'm
you want.
I'm free to come and do shows now and do weekly things now.
Well, come on, let's do it together.
Okay.
Also, I have a very special announcement. Blaine has released his second book. It's called Supernatural Journey. And here is a photo of it, if I can get my fingers to work. Where are you? Where is it? Oh, there it is. There he is. And he's got some really incredible stories in here. I'm very proud to be included in the book, and Matthew as well, and Gwen Johns as well. We get into all kind of stuff. But these are true stories from real paranormal locations, spirit communication, ghost box sessions, battling with dark entities, protecting the innocent. There's a lot of things going on in his book, and it is fascinating. That is his real regalia and his spirit animals and his spirit guide Janema. She gets a lot of TV time, doesn't she?
Hey, her and Minnie, the only 2 spirit guys I ever know, got credit on a TV show. So
Yep. Oh, we got more comments. My goodness. Thank you. Wait, I thought it was a great show. I had a
thank
great
you,
time as
Nicole.
well. Please pass the word. She said she was also abducted and she would love to be invited. Channel 29 in San Antonio, Texas would sometimes turn off the weather radar filters to show stuff around satellites. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. So please tell your friends, and we will have Willie back again. And I'll try to advertise more about when we're going to do more disclosures about UFOs and aliens and watch some more of the footage. Yes, you're right. Blaine's book is going to be a great read. I've read it and it's awesome. And here's the thing, Blaine's a funny guy. So there's times when you just hold your side, you're laughing. Other times where, it hits you right in the heart, and other times it's like, holy crap, I'm glad I wasn't there when that happened. So, okay. So Nicole says she's written some books about alien abductions and encounters. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, everybody. Willie, how can people get in touch with you?
They can find me on Facebook, Willie Walker
Okay.
Gibson or Willie
Just
Gibson.
reach out to me if you need
Yeah.
him, and I'll make sure he gets the information. Blaine, you got any last thoughts?
You know what I need.
I'm a coming.
Okay, you guys had a million things you could watch tonight. You chose us. Thank you for being with us. It means the world. Willie, always a great guest. Can't wait to have you back again. And this
I'll
is
be
one
back.
I hate doing. This is one I hate doing, but I have to do it. If you're a soldier or veteran or civilian and you have suicidal thoughts, please call 988. It is a crisis line and it's open 24 hours a day. And if you don't want to talk directly to somebody, they have where you can do a chat with them, or you can call myself, Lee, or Lee's husband, Matt, and we will talk you down. I promise you that.
Thank you, Johnny. Always good to know that we have resources, and you, Johnny, you have a safe night and be with us next week on Monday. We're going to have Christopher Brewer on, and Tuesday we'll have we might have Willie back. I'm not sure. We're going to talk this. I want to be prepared. If I've got enough time to put it all together, we'll have him back. If not, it'll be the following week. We've got some fun things coming up. You'll see Archbishop Christina Rake, and I'm trying to get the Booth brothers to come together. That would be on Family Spirit on Monday nights, talking about Annalise McKell, the exorcism of Emily Rose. And we'll have Christopher Brewer, who has been on Paranormal 911. He was a host and expert from that. He was on Paranormal Night Shift. Oh gosh, he's got 20 different shows to his name.
Yeah.
He's a Navajo. So we'll have to have you back, Willie. Maybe you can help us.
I'll be here.
sometime.
I'll be back. Just have me
Yeah.
back. Let me have the square in the left-hand corner, and I'll be right back.
Yep.
Thank
So, and he's also a police officer and first a medic, retired. So he really
yeah.
does.
I've been
He
everywhere.
really does fit in with us. Wynn's a medic. All right, so that's the end of the show. You guys, remember to keep your heart sincere, keep your words pure, and always be looking at the stars. Have a great night.
Good night.
Willie, hang with us for after the show.
Okay.